Stampers, Diane Damage here with ddStamps.com, and I wanted to show you quickly what one of the projects that we did in my, or going to do in my club this month, and also in some of my workshops. And so everybody gets a packet like this with the envelope, and all the parts and pieces are already cut and ready to go. But let me just run through them so that you have the information that you need. This piece of chocolate chip cardstock is cut 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and it is scored at 3, so it folds like this. This piece of soft sky is cut 4 by 5 1/4. We have this piece here, which is a piece of chocolate chip cardstock. It's cut 3 by 6 1/2, and it's scored at 3 1/4, so it folds in half to make a tiny little card. We have 2 pieces of natural ivy cardstock, which are 2 3/4 by 3. And then we have 1 piece of designer series paper, Sweater Weather is the name of it, and it's 2 3/4 by 4. And one of the things I like to do with my designer series paper is cut them into 4-inch strips, because then I can get 3 4-inch strips out of a 12 by 12 sheet, and then I can chop them up to there. So anyway, it just makes my designer series paper go a little farther when I'm making cards. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin with, I'm just going to add my soft sky cardstock onto the base of my card here. And then my designer series paper is going to go on this side. This is really just some pretty straightforward stamping next. So that just makes the base of my card. And then I've got these pieces left to deal with. And one of them goes on the inside of this card and one of them goes on the outside. So we'll do the outside first. And I started with the Truly Grateful stamp set. This is what it looks like. I love this stamp set. This happens to be one of my new favorites for Thanksgiving. And as you can tell, that's what we're focusing this month on, is Thanksgiving. So we're going to use that stamp set, and I'm going to use a little crushed curry and ink up this great background stamp. And on this one, I stamp off because I don't want it to be as dark as that, and then I'm going to stamp it on. And it just gives a real subtle background, and that's kind of the look I was going for. And then I'm going to come in with the wheat, and I'm going to fully ink that up with crushed curry and stamp that down. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to come in with the acorn and add one of those, and then the words Truly Grateful will go up here. And this is going to get taped on to this piece. And you might think I'm doing it wrong, but that's really exactly how I want it. And then the inside piece, I'm going to do the same thing with the background. Stamp off, stamp on. Just gives me a great subtle background. And then if I wanted to, I could stamp something in there, but this time I'm going to choose not to, because that's actually where I'm going to probably sign this card. And maybe put a few words of my own in there. And so I'm going to add that on. And then what we're going to do is this is all going to get added into this card, and this is going to make it just a little fancier than normal. And by bringing this in, I just want that to be the focal point. And so it's just a fancy folded card where they open it this way, and then your sentiment is in there. I like the look of that. And then of course I stamped on the front of my envelope with that same background and a little acorn to bring the whole ensemble together. So hopefully you like this. And oh, I'm going to add a little ribbon, I think. I've decided to come in with a little, actually some linen thread. And I'm just going to tie a little bow. How I do that is I just do the loops. I just do a loop, bring it around to another loop, and it just makes a really nice, easy flat bow. I do that with my other ribbons too, especially if I'm putting it on a card, because it keeps it flat to be mailed. It makes it easier to mail. And so I'm just going to add that on there just for a little dimension. I like that. So there's the card. This is one of the cards for this month's clubs and workshops. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you.